Hey, what's going on, guys? It is Deibs, Mr. Crockpot on X. Today we are breaking down my top 10 linebackers in the 2025 NFL Draft. Guys, if you love the draft, you want more draft content, you know what to do. Smash that subscribe button. Let's go! Alright guys, coming in at number 10 is Deontae Lawson out of Alabama. The quarterback of the defense, Deontae Lawson served as the primary communicator of the Bama defense and excelled in that role before suffering a season-ending injury at Oklahoma. In addition to his leadership qualities, Lawson flew around the field, contributing 76 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, an interception, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. Deontae Lawson is currently receiving late day 2, early day 3 projections, and his injury and recovery timeline will also likely be factors one way or another. With Jihaad Campbell likely headed to the draft and Justin Jefferson out of eligibility, it is still unknown if Deontae Lawson will be returning to Alabama for next season due to his 1 year of eligibility remaining. Let's watch some highlights. Coming in number 9 in my rankings is Jeffrey Bassa out of Oregon. Jeffrey Bassa's best traits by far are his defensive IQ and ability to understand plays both before and as they happen. He aligns himself in advantageous pre-snap positions that often allows him to effectively impact plays. He's an excellent communicator mid-play, smoothly passing off assignments and rotating with his teammates. He maintains his positioning at the second level against inside runs, attacking any as they get past the line of scrimmage. The biggest struggles Bassa has is with sinking into his heels and staying too choppy. He gets caught leaning both forward and backward too much and is unable to maintain momentum at times. Bassa's reaction at the snap is often delayed and he tries to be too patient in coverage. His indecisiveness leads to him being beat vertically by quicker wideouts. His hips need to be opened up more, and Bassa projects as a starting middle linebacker in an attacking style defense. His football IQ and great communication ability as the play caller of the unit are far beyond his years. Bassa projects as a 3-down defender with the athletic and mental skills to be a winning starter in the NFL, and I've got a day 2 grade on him. Let's watch some highlights.
Now to the hurry up, 47 seconds left. Second down, pressure, and it's intercepted! It is intercepted by Jeffrey Bassa, and he's going to return it for a pick 6. Pressured by Dorless, and the interception return by Jeffrey Bassa.
Negative 7 yards in the first half, finally into the green after Harden's long run, but Garbers is sacked.
They'll get the football to start the second half. If they can find a way to double dip, it changes the chemistry of this game. Williams nearly got away, but he won't. Another sack. This one, Jeffrey Bassa.
Coming in number 8 in my rankings is Lander Barton out of Utah. Lander Barton comes from an athletic family and it shows in his tape. Movement skills are the foundation of his game as he has plenty of athleticism and loose hips to be effective in man coverage and tighten throwing windows when playing zone. Against the run, Barton is physical and has some pop behind his pads when coming downhill. However, that might not translate well to the next level as he struggles to hold his ground and get off blocks against more physical offensive linemen. Barton needs to develop a move to help disengage from blocks and or learn how to use his quickness and athleticism to slip blocks from offensive linemen claiming to the second level. Overall, Lander Barton has good size, athleticism, and technique to be an effective every down linebacker in the NFL, but he does need to find a way to defeat blocks. Schematically, he has the versatility to line up as a Mike or Sam backer, and I've got a day 2 grade on him. Let's watch some highlights.
12-minute mark before the half. And that pass is picked off. A takeaway by Lander Barton. And Barton is still moving. He's got some blockers. From behind, he's going to go all the way. It's a touchdown for the Utes. And Lander and Barton.
Is that where the quarterback's coming back to the huddle going, somebody want to watch number 8?
As an interception, Lander Barton brings it back. Touchdown, Utah. The pick 6, Lander Barton.
Year through 13 picks, but no interceptions yet this season. On 2nd down and 10, Jones in trouble, hit and sacked. Lander Barton.
You're right, Lander Barton. There's so much to like about this talented true freshman, size, speed, and as they bring him on the blitz.
Coming in number 7 in my rankings is Danny Stutsman out of Oklahoma. Danny Stutsman is such a fun watch on film. The urgency with which he plays the game is exactly what you're hoping for from a leader. Stutsman's effort pops off the screen, and his ability to cover outrageous amounts of grass should not be taken for granted with how the game has transitioned into one of space. He isn't just a dog chasing cars. Stutsman has showcased the necessary processing abilities to develop into an NFL starter and work to attack creases and gaps in the run game. As a tackler, he's dynamic and offers a superb ceiling, but he needs to pay more attention to the details. Stutsman projects as a starting Mike linebacker at the NFL level. He has enough length and burst to play on the edge in pressure packages, but he will be best served in a zone-heavy defensive scheme. Much like 2024's 3rd-round pick Peyton Wilson, Danny Stutsman is a massive, hulking figure who flies around the football field. He's 6'4" and 241 pounds, but has the straight line speed that just jumps off the tape. He's a true middle linebacker, but there are some concerns about his coverage abilities and his missed tackle rate. His fluidity in space is more concerning as he's fallen into more of a day 2 option. Let's watch some highlights.
Back to the offense, Florida State. They'll run it with Micah Pittman.
Come on, man. Ewers trying to get things going here. And you're down by 10 for the first time this season. They test them.
Daniels under pressure again, and one more time he is sacked.
Brooks again. And again, they've got him behind the line.
2-back set with Wiley. Fafita pressure, backtracking, lets it go, and that is incomplete. Good coverage on the...
Prather in motion, they give to Mathis. And nothing doing.
Having to poison it.
Play fake and a spin out. Grabbed and
Transferred to UCF. Gonna keep it here, and he gets walloped at the 1. Stutsman with the big hit.
And it's down. It changes everything for the play caller.
No running room this time for Harvey, bottled up at the 25.
Coming in number 6 in my rankings is Barrett Carter out of Clemson. Once projected as a first-round prospect early in 2023, Barrett Carter's draft stock took a slight hit in 2024. Carter was a better pass rusher in 2022 and 2023, but has not gotten home as often as Clemson has been less aggressive with his usage. His tackling rate has gotten much better, but his coverage still needs to improve. He has impressive athleticism that allows him to man up against running backs and tight ends, and he has the speed to carry them down the field. He also has good eye discipline in zone coverage and has the ability to pattern match, which is significant considering how modern NFL defenses function. Overall, Barrett Carter has a chance to become a complete linebacker in the NFL if his ability to stack and shed improves and his instincts against the run become more consistent. Schematically, he'd be a good fit as a Sam linebacker with his ability to cover and take on blocks against tight ends. Right now, I've got a day 2 grade on Barrett Carter. Let's watch some highlights.
alter it as he goes along. He kept the ball, bounced off the first hit, but does not survive the second.
A lot of factors going into being able successful on the other end of it. On the receiver screen, this is Mosley with nowhere to go. Brought down at the 7-yard line by Barrett Carter. Option into the boundary, nowhere to go for Chris Davis Jr. Barrett Carter. I talked about trying to make it a little bit easy for him to start the game. Glenn under duress. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 25-yard line, Barrett Carter.
Down block Glenn, so he has nowhere to move up in the pocket. So he's trying to climb, trying to find some space to be.
4 sacks all in the last 3 games. Bachmeier in 3rd and 14 in trouble. Gets away from one, but can't get away from Barrett Carter.
Got to get to the 37. Drones. Delivers incomplete. Would have been enough for the first down, but dropped as Carter knocked it loose.
Coming in number 5 in my rankings is Jay Higgins out of Iowa. One of my favorite prospects and arguably the most fundamentally sound linebacker in the 2025 NFL draft pool. Jay Higgins is a straight-up tackling machine. In 2024, he's expanded his game into producing turnovers, being a better communicator, and simply a better leader. His attention to detail is off the charts, and he always seems to have a nose for the ball carrier. Higgins turned into a major playmaker in 2024, accounting for 5 turnover plays. He doesn't have elite measurables, and that could drop his draft stock during the draft process, but the tape says the exact opposite. This is a guy who wins with effort, football IQ, and elite feel and instincts. Overall, he projects as a scheme-specific rotational NFL linebacker and a core special teamer. He is best suited working downhill, attacking the line of scrimmage to play the run. He is an ideal will linebacker in a 4-3 even front defense. I'm higher on his draft stock than most, and I see him as a quality starter and day 2 selection in this year's draft. Let's watch some highlights.
Sit out one bit farther.
34.
Into traffic and intercepted. At the 18-yard line, it is Jay Higgins coming the other way for the defense.
Porter. Drill. Jay Higgins in there right away. Number 1 tackler in the Big Ten steps up, and it's now 4th and goal.
Downhill. We could hear that hit up here in the booth. Just stuffs him right there on the goal line.
He's missed one, and he comes back and makes one and punches it out with his right hand.
The All-American with an All-American.
Coming in number 4 in my rankings is Chris Paul Jr. out of Ole Miss. Pooh Paul played in all 12 games for the Rebels this season and had a team-high 88 tackles. Paul doesn't carry the same name recognition as Barrett Carter, Deontae Lawson, or Danny Stutsman, but there's a solid chance he goes ahead of all 3 on draft night. Chris Paul Jr. is a fluid, speedy linebacker with flashes of brilliant anticipation fitting the run. His springiness helps him sift through blockers as he works downhill until he can find a clean line and use his closing burst to reach the ball carrier. When the box gets muddy, Paul uses his patience and vision to mirror the running back and make the stop. Paul's loose and explosive movement skills translates to coverage where he can drop in the zone and read the quarterback's eyes to undercut throwing lanes. His athletic advantage also helps him take on man coverage assignments against running backs or tight ends running wheels, rails, or short routes to the flat. Paul is still developing his instincts in coverage as well as his ability to shed blocks, but his raw athleticism and flashes of next-level playmaking hint at a major, big-time future NFL starter. Right now, I've got a firm day 2 grade on Pooh Paul. Let's watch some highlights. Coming in number 3 in my rankings is Harold Perkins out of LSU. A torn ACL prematurely ended Harold Perkins' transition from a hybrid edge and linebacker role to just being off ball, and it's a shame. Perkins struggled mightily as a box player over the first month of games, often guessing and lacking the strength needed to survive against interior blockers. With his size being closer to 6 feet and 225 pounds, he has no future as a full-time edge, so his future has to be at the linebacker position. There are some serious questions in that area, but let's be real. This is an elite athlete regardless of where he plays. He missed 5 tackles with only 10 stops across 224 snaps in 4 games. He also allowed all 5 targets to be completed. This is a freak athlete, but not someone who knows how to play linebacker yet. Perkins has a tough decision to make: stay at LSU for one more season or bypass his senior year and enter the 2025 NFL Draft. He slipped down the draft board due to injury and usage issues and looks like a big-time, high-risk, high-reward prospect in the right scheme if he declares. Right now, I've got a day 2 grade on Harold Perkins. Let's watch some highlights.
Fortin. He was hit as he was throwing, and it was Perkins again. Harold Perkins has been harassing Arkansas all day long. And are they saying that's a live ball?
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense.
They are saying that's a fumble recovered by LSU. Off the timeout, Hornsby back to pass. Now he's going to tuck and run, try to do it with his legs, and he is torn down again.
It's like when you were playing and you type something in and your guy's all of a sudden 99 speed and everyone else is like 75 speed. I mean, he tracks it down so quickly and he reads and triggers.
Coming in number 2 in my rankings is Jihaad Campbell out of Alabama. Another big-time riser this season has been the Roll Tide's Jihaad Campbell. Well built at 6'3", 244 pounds, he looks like a hammer in the middle of the Bama defense and shines at the point of attack. Campbell is an athletic freak with terrific arm length and speed for an off-ball linebacker. The Crimson Tide's coaching staff sometimes uses him as a pass-rushing outside linebacker because of his explosiveness and bend to win as a speed rusher. Those traits translate to his work off the ball. Offensive linemen and tight ends struggle to contain Campbell. His superior arm length and looseness help him separate from blocks and redirect to the football. He makes plenty of plays in pursuit and limits potential big plays by shedding blocks and wrapping up the running back. Campbell is also a unique asset in pass coverage. He's still developing his natural feel for zone assignments, but has the speed and range to bracket slot receivers and tight ends vertically. Right now, I've got a solid day 2 grade on Jihaad Campbell. Let's watch some highlights.
Judkins in the backfield. Dart, little hitch, steps up in the pocket. He's going to run it. Ooh, he lost his hat. Ooh. And he's going to have to leave again.
Jason, he did this last week. Oh my goodness. I wonder if they'll take a look. Watch Campbell. Is this the top of Campbell's head?
Looks like it hits more of the shoulder pad though than Dart's helmet. There's a better angle right here. Seems like it hits all that right side of Dart's shoulder pad as he's going.
Coming in number 1 in my rankings is Jalon Walker out of Georgia. Jalon Walker's emergence as a hybrid defensive pass rusher has been one of the biggest stories of the 2024 season. It might be a scary idea to some, the title of defensive weapon. It suggests positionless football, which has been a kiss of death label for a number of talented college defenders in recent years. However, Jalon Walker's role is a little more straightforward than some of those paths to the pros. This is a stand-up rush linebacker who is capable of playing shallow zones and dropping to execute simulated pressures. With 17 quarterback pressures, 4.5 sacks, 18 run stops, and only 5 missed tackles, Jalon Walker has some of the highest floor of the draft at his position. There are shades of Patrick Queen in his game, and I think Jalon Walker might be a more reliable tackler in space. He's also extremely versatile. He's lined up in the slot 60 times, along the defensive line 230 snaps, and in the box 283 times. No one in the class has that kind of range and comfort and experience. Right now, I've got a solid round 1 grade on Jalon Walker. Let's watch some highlights.
Meanwhile, Texas faces a 3rd and 7. Ewers from the end zone, still trying to buy time, stumbles forward and takes a sack. Jalon Walker, the elite pass rusher, got there.
Just bring 4, and this is their top pass rusher. Man, is it fun to watch him when he is on the edge in his defense. He's had to play off-ball linebacker because of the injury to Munden. This time one-on-one. That's first rounder against first rounder. Exactly.
Gave up a bunch of yards, not just to Alabama, but also Mississippi State. All-out blitz. Ewers cannot escape. They've got him again. Jalon Walker for a 2nd time against this final minute. Pressure comes, Manning escapes on the run, trying to make something happen. Cannot get away from Jalon Walker.
Walker come around the edge right there, just beats Damian George and takes it right out of his hand.
All right, guys, those are my top 10 linebackers in the 2025 NFL Draft. Do you agree or disagree with my rankings? Who are some of your favorite linebacker prospects that didn't make this list? Let me know down in that comment section below. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Stay awesome.